What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching the last couple of episodes. You guys have really been doing good. Even watching the Suburbicon episodes, nobody asked you to do that, not even the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
But thank you guys anyway. We really appreciate it. And today we're covering a comic book movie. Finally, we're selling out. But
Yeah.
it's not just any comic book movie, and there's literally no reason to do it other than we wanted to. But come back from this very important commercial break, and we'll tell you what 1990s comic genius movie we're gonna watch. What's up, guys? If you haven't seen our movies, the last one's Borderland and The Empty Space, please go watch them on Tubi, Screambox, Screamify, Fandor, Amazon Prime. You can rent it if you want. Go rent them. Take yourself out for a treat and be like, we don't want to watch commercials. Thank you, Tubi, but not today. We're going to rent it and watch it commercial free. Welcome back, guys. That was a totally normal and very short commercial.
Yeah.
So today we're covering, this movie was a huge hit.
Should I introduce it? Because
yeah. Thank
I
you.
have a special edition.
I had that at one point for sure.
If you used context clues, you would know that we were nowhere close to me saying the title of this movie. But yes, we're covering Sin City today. From 2005, directed by Frank Miller, Robert Rodriguez, and of course, everyone's favorite director, Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. Written by Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez, but did he really write anything, or did he just look at a page?
It was pretty much just...
It should say...
Put some scenes together in a certain order? I don't know.
It should say written by Frank Miller, read by Robert Rodriguez. That would be more accurate. And of course, let's get into this cast. It stars Mickey Rourke, Clive Owen, Bruce Willis. Get well soon, Bruce. Hopefully that's an option. Hope he's doing good. Jessica Alba, Devin A. Coney. That's so funny. I'm reading this in order on IMDb, and like they put Devin.
I think it's Aoki.
Aoki.
Devin Aoki. Yeah.
I think they put her like third. It's like, all right. I mean, she's cool, but sure. Rosario Dawson, Alexis Bledel, Michael Clark Duncan, and of course the greatest actor of the entire history of cinema, Benicio del Toro.
Oh, I thought you're gonna say Carla Gugino. There's so many good actors in this. Actually, Brittany Murphy too. Rest in peace.
Brittany Murphy, the late great Brittany
Rutger
Murphy.
Rutger Hauer for a second.
Powers Booth is in this. There's so many.
Did we say Josh Hartnett in the most?
Oh, Josh Hartnett and who's the girl at the very beginning?
I don't know. The girl from the Gilmore
Jamie
Girls.
Jamie King.
Rory Gilmore is in this.
Michael Madsen.
The guy who was
Elijah Wood.
Nicholas Stahl. Elijah Wood.
Nicholas Stahl, Nick Offerman. There's
Nick
so
Offerman.
many.
Yeah. This is like Mackenzie a name of 2005 cinema.
Did we even say Elijah Wood? Did someone say Elijah Wood?
I just did, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of good stars. A lot of good stars in this film. And so this movie was a huge hit, actually. And there was even a sequel that we may or may not ever talk about. But it's been largely forgotten, I would say. Most people don't really talk about this movie anymore. It's kind of like it, but when it came out, it was very unique because it wasn't just black and white. It was also, we'll talk about it as we get into it, but it's based on a series of comic books that was written by Frank Miller. If you don't know who Frank Miller is, he is a very legendary comic book artist. He wrote The Dark Knight Returns. He wrote Batman Year One. Mm-hmm. He's been the inspiration for Batman for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And then he wrote RoboCop 2, the script and the comic book, and that's why they're so bad.
Hey, RoboCop 2 has 10 really good minutes in it.
RoboCop 2 is good, but they had to take it away from him. The comic is bad. Marley Shelton is the customer. But and then he wrote Holy Terror Batman or whatever that is called, which is super racist.
He kind of veered into self-parody. This is a weird movie because I'm like, did he always believe this stuff, or did that just kind of become him later?
I feel like we'll talk about it as we get into it. But so Sin City was his original idea. It was there had been rumors that it was going to be a movie forever. They're going to because each story is an individual story. So they're maybe they'll make one movie per story or whatever. I know that like at one point Johnny Depp was rumored to play a character in a story that never got adapted.
Yeah.
Josh, what was the name of that story?
I don't remember, but it is the worst one. It's like the
It's
last one.
Yeah, it has the most color in the actual comic.
It's the one where
and it has
the guy is too good at everything.
Yeah, it has
which
the
is
most
strange
Johnny
to say about Sin
Cage.
City.
I mean, Johnny Depp script ever, where like he doesn't do anything wrong. But he's still like, oh, he's tough, but he's literally fine.
He's tough, but he's like sensitive and cool. Like he's not like tough in a way where his life is
Hell and
bad,
back.
like everyone in this movie.
And he has like long hair, tail and back.
Yeah, he looks exactly like
He's an artist. He's
But
like
anyway,
he's literally like an artist.
So that never got made, but there was rumors flying everywhere. And so finally, like when the news broke that Robert Rodriguez was going to be adapting it with like this all-star cast, he had shot it, and he was shooting it in the style of Sin City, which isn't just black and white, but it's also very noir. Almost to like the most noir extreme you could ever get. Like there's in the very first scene, they kiss and they turn into a white silhouette. Like it's not even like a silhouette of them. Actually, it's like them, an outline of them in white.
Or like if you get shot against like a wall, like your blood is like the white, like it's like white, like bright white blood, not like red.
It's a very
cool.
stylized
really
world.
Yeah.
And so like there was a lot of hype on there, and so that's why we want to talk about it today. I guess we'll cover it story by story. So it opens up and like, okay, this is normally I wouldn't talk about this because it's not really relevant, but Josh Hartnett plays this assassin. He goes up to this girl and they're talking like they're in love, and he's like, I'm gonna love. There's always narration. Every character has narration.
Yeah,
and so the narration is like
cliches. Yeah,
I'm gonna. She holds me tight and I don't let go. Mm-hmm. I can feel her breath on my neck. It should be warm, but it's cold. Like that's how every line of dialogue is.
Yeah.
Which is like that works like well in this movie and in like the comic books too, because it's like there's a certain rhythm that every single character has.
It's one of those like you think it's hokey, but then you see it done badly and you realize how good this movie is doing it. Right. Yeah. Like okay, like it's like really leaning into it. Yeah.
And so then he's like telling her, he's like, I tell her that everything's gonna be okay. And I tell her that I'm gonna rescue her from everything. And then he shoots her, and then he's like, I'll cash your check in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool scene, and I don't know if it makes any sense. And I think that's kind of like, because did she hire him to kill?
Well, yeah, I think so, because like I can't really explain why I think she did until we get to the very end of the movie.
I know, because this bookends the movie. Yeah. But I do think, because I was actually, because I have the super special edition, I was looking at some of the special features and ones like the Quentin Tarantino segment. And he talks about like, oh, Robert showed me the camera test. And this Josh Hartnett scene is the camera test.
It is the camera test.
And that's not it's the one like sequence, quote unquote, that's not like just directly from the books. They just like wrote it for the movie. And
there is this is a comic. It's a one shot.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, maybe the ending part is its own thing.
The ending part is not. That's added.
Okay, but this was like a camera, and it's only like 2 minutes. But I think it was just them saying like, can we make this look good and like Sin City-esque? So
it was
really
like. When Robert Rodriguez was trying to get this movie made, he needed a little bit of extra funding, and so he shot this part to kind of show to the studios that I think it was Dimension is who he ends up teaming up with, but to show them like, this is how it would look, and that's kind of what sold them and let them kind of greenlight the movie. I mean, he made it, but they helped with like additional funds because as you can see, I mean, he had been practicing for years, but it's a lot of camera techniques and like CGI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so then we get into our first official story. But that's what I wanted to say was that's kind of like a good representation of Sin City. Like it's kind of going for style first.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, but that's like it's in your face. Like every character kind of talks and anything they say is what they mean. Like there's very little lying. And if they do lie, they're always like, I'll take you to the store.
Yeah, like every woman is beautiful. Every like guy is either a big like tough guy or like a slimy creep. You know, it's like everyone's just a caricature of a person.
Yeah, you get it right away, which doesn't really like make it any like less meaningful or like. I mean, I feel like this is like the most artistic thing in a way that Robert Rodriguez ever did because it's like it's very much vibes and like ambiance in a way, which it's like a crazy movie and it's like. I don't know, kind of silly in like a lot of parts, but like it's very heavy on atmosphere, which is like.
And I think that's why the movie works, because since the characters and the dialogue is so over stylized, that if this was shot realistically, it would look really dumb. Like
It would be
you would
so
like
lame.
it would be hard to like take it seriously. Where putting it in this kind of stark contrast, it's like the characters end up almost feeling like an extension of how the world looks. You know, like
Right.
a normal person wouldn't live in Sin City because it's black and white and it's all alleyways.
Yeah.
It's all alleyways and rooftops. And so it's like, yeah, you don't want them to be acting normal in this kind of scene.
Right.
But yeah,
like,
so then oh, go ahead.
Like, you're either going to get on board with this movie and, like, really like it, or you're going to fucking hate it, or...
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see someone, like, you're either going to like this movie or just, like, turn it off. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's like it's telling you right away. It's like, this is either for you and it's going to click, or it's... Which is, I think the Hartnett thing does, like, help. But then the real opener starts, and it's Bruce Willis.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to talk about Bruce Willis because we're doing story by story. So there is a part in Bruce Willis, but we'll get to it at the end because it's the last story. So we're going to start off.
Okay. He does bookend it, kind of, but I know.
I mean, we can't bookend everything.
I know. Yeah,
you already want to bookend the Josh Hartnett thing.
There are like
doing one by
three
one.
bookends in this film. No, the Marv one is first and best. You're right,
and it is an anthology. So I mean, I think it makes it better to watch when you're watching it. To be like, it's cool to start with Bruce Willis and then go back to him. Because if you watch it for the first time, you're not going to know. But for the purposes of making this podcast not 3 hours long, we're going to go story by story. And so the first story, I think it's everyone's favorite. It's Marv. And here's one of the things, too, is that, and we'll talk about this in the Bruce Willis story, which I just mentioned. But like, there's some actors who cannot do this dialogue. Like, it does not feel natural out of them.
Oh,
it it immediately breaks. But having said that, Mickey Rourke knows exactly how to like use this dialogue. This is like his the perfect resurgence
role for him. Yeah.
So Mickey Rourke plays Marv, who's like he's like the big tough guy that nobody likes at the bar and who's like always horny. And
his face is like mangled.
Yeah. He's like he's super prone to violence. He's like crazy. He has to take pills to stay calm. And even when he's calm, he's still prone to violence. His face is all messed up, and he talks like a 1920s detective. And so he's like drinking a beer in a bar, and he's in a hotel, and he's like, I'm in the studio hotel room with a goddess. It's like he's with a girl, and every time he talks, her name's Goldie. But he refers to her as goddess like more time. He either calls her Goldie or goddess like 20 times.
This is another like, oh, you're in or out, because immediately it's just slow motion, her like naked riding him, and you're like, that's what this movie is.
Yep. Yeah,
on a heart shaped bed.
No,
and only the bed is color. It's like a red heart, and then her hair's gold, and everything else is like black and white.
Goldie is in color.
Like,
and she's one of the first characters.
Was so deep. I thought this was like I couldn't understand the depths of what they were trying to show me.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god.
And so they enjoy a night of love, and then he wakes up and he realizes that she's dead, and he realizes that not only is she dead, but he has been set up for the crime, and we know who killed her because we see the door open. And we see Elijah Wood, and he has glasses.
The glasses.
He's got a Charlie Brown sweater on.
Is this the first like Elijah Wood a creep role? Because I feel like that's all he does now.
I think it is.
And it might have been the first like post Lord of the Rings. Like
it's either this or Maniac. I think they came out around the same.
He does a great job. I mean, he doesn't have any dialogue, but he does great looking creepy.
It was this first Maniac's 2012. But yeah, he does good. And so Marv is like, oh no, I've been set up. So then the whole rest of the story is Marv, trying to figure out who killed Goldie, and also trying to stay one step ahead of the cops and everyone who checks them. And like the first thing he does, the first thing he does is he goes to see his PO officer, and this is the world of Sin City. It's Carla Juigo or whatever. Gugino.
Yeah.
And she's asleep. She's completely naked. Except for a thong. And then she's like, Marv, what are you doing here? You want some of your medicine? And then she's like, she never puts on clothes until he's about to leave.
Yeah. She's like, take it. You're worth it.
She is naked for 90% of this. No, but I do like, because the movie is very, it's following their narration. It's like Marv's narrating this as he's figuring things out. But it does a lot with a little, because literally the second he wakes up, like a minute later, the cops are showing up. He's like, oh, I'm being set up because like no one else would know that she's dead up here except me and the killer. So clearly this is it. And the funny thing is, this plan would work because they sent like 20 SWAT guys. If he was a normal person, he would have died there. But they didn't. They're like, well, you didn't count on him being able to smash his way through 20 SWAT guys, jump out a window, and survive like 25 or 30 feet and just be pretty okay. Although he literally does have bandages the rest of the film.
He busts open the door. And like, there's like 8 cops, and he knocks them all off.
He's like, "I'll be right out." Yeah, just like
the door. And so he gets to the thing, and he's like, "I gotta go find out." And so he just kind of starts working his way down. And there's one real good part that, like, this is a part where I'm saying, like, if this was in real life, it would look so dumb. But they're like, "You gotta talk to Rocco, but Rocco will never talk." And then it cuts to Marv, and he's like he's driving a car, and he's dragging the dude by the face. Yeah. And he's like, I'm having a grand old time.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm having a ball.
And then it goes to his narration. He goes, Marco talks. They all talk. Yeah. And it's like, that's again, like, this is the world we're in, you know?
There's also, there's a great running gag where, cause he starts with like a trench coat and he keeps getting his coats messed up, but he keeps saying to the next guy who tries to kill him, like, it's a damn fine coat you're wearing. And then he'll like be wearing the coat by the end of it. But the funny thing is, the first guy he takes it off of is like 3 feet shorter than him. And it still just like fits
no one
perfectly.
Is his size because he's like too.
He's like 7'4". He's
and
just
then,
a monster.
I forgot to say this, but this is one of my favorite lines of dialogue because it's so ridiculous. When he's talking to Carlo, he's like, he's talking to his PO. She gives him pills, and he gets the pills from her girlfriend, and he goes, her girlfriend's a shrink. One time she tried to analyze me, but you got too scared.
Yeah.
Like, this is how Marvin, like, cool. The ultimate like badass cool
and every like he's at every like light is like, oh, he'll be ready to go to hell after what I do to him, like, because he's just killing his way to like towards like whoever like did this essentially.
And so then he eventually gets to a priest who's played by Frank Miller. If you don't know who Frank Miller is, that's what he looks like. And then the priest eventually tells him that like it goes all the way to the top. This is Bishop Rourke. The whole Sin City is actually owned
it's run by the Rourkes.
The Rourke family. One of them's a senator, one of them is a bishop, and then that's it. There's just 2 of them, right? And then they have
they have like extended family, obviously, but I do like too. It's because if you don't know anything about Sin City, you assume it's like, oh, it's like a Vegas thing, but it's like, no, it's Basin City. It's like a crappy like Pittsburgh style industrial city that just kind of collapsed, and then like crime and gambling and prostitution like kind of runs it essentially. You know?
It is funny that it's called, like, that's one of my favorite touches about it, that it's actually named Basin City. And Sin City's just the like nickname because like there's no real reason to add that, but it's a nice little touch.
It's nice that it's its own world, you know.
And so eventually he finds out Roy, and there's like a funny scene, like he's walking in the rain, and there's like a big statue of the Rourke bishop.
Man, this scene's so good.
And he shoots it, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude!
It's just like the tiniest little crack comes off the statue, but it's like
a little bullet.
Get it, man. Don't worry.
And he's like. And then like I do like this part too because they're like, and then it hits me like a kick in the nuts. What if I'm crazy? Because like Marv is pretty like,
well, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, because he has to take pills because he's like, am I just imagining all of this? Because he keeps seeing Goldie, and he's like, is that real or not? Yeah,
I think we skipped ahead in time a little bit.
Yeah, no, he has smelt her by this point,
and she has run over him with the car at least once at this point.
And then I smell a familiar smell, but it can't be. Sorry, I gotta take my pills. But now Marv is also out of pills. And so he gets there.
Well, he's out of pills because he can no longer get them from the girlfriend. I think that we skipped the farm part, the first farm part.
Oh, right. He does go to the farm first. Yes. Yeah, okay, go ahead, William.
So how does he get... Oh, yeah, because the priest tells him everything's at the farm or something.
Yeah. He's like, go to the Rourke family farm.
And so then he goes to the farm. And
that's what they tell him that it's at the farm, and then he goes, oh, everyone knows about the Rourke family farm, so that's how we know the Rourkes are involved. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, right. So he pulls up to this farm, and he's like, everyone knows about the Rourke family farm. It's a dark place. and people have died here. And then a dog starts snarling, and he's like, they've died the wrong way. So Marv is like exploring the farm, trying to find out what's going on. And then you see Kevin, who's Elijah Wood, who's the Charlie Brown guy, sneak up.
Yeah, he's real
on
skinny
him.
and small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marv is like, no one sneaks up on me. And then Elijah Wood like jumps, and he has like little claws, like he's like a little
he's
guy.
like he's filed his fingernails into sharp claws.
Yeah,
and he moves like Nightcrawler. He's like,
yeah, he's like it's the ultimate like huge guy too slow to punch. Little guy.
Skinny little guy versus big hulking meatbag.
So he captures Marv, and then he takes him away, and he takes him to this secret room where then he sees his PO, and she's also been kidnapped. And that's
she is naked again.
Well, I feel like he just kidnapped her from the night. I think it's the same night. And she's like, he doesn't just kill these girls. She's eating them. And then she's like, he made me watch me eat my head.
Yeah. And it's pretty scary. Like, this movie is it's noir and action, but like, especially in Marv's story,
borders
it's like
on horror
for sure.
It's pretty intense, especially with how evil the villains are. And so then he's like, he tells him that they got to get out of there. So they do escape.
This is very funny too, because is it like a chopper? So like a bunch of SWAT guys like land. Marv's like, oh, we got to get out of here, and then she knocks him out, and she's like, I'll just like tell them what's going on. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm never done with these guys.
She's like, hey guys, he's in the woods unarmed. Don't worry about it. And then they just gun her down. Obviously, I also if you've read Sin City, the leader of the SWAT team has this crazy sun tattoo. And you're always like, I wonder how that would look in live action. And the answer is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Especially because he's supposed to be the SWAT leader, and he has like a big black tattoo, and it goes down his side. And
it's like a Fallout, like the Raiders.
Especially, and that's the thing. Right. That's the thing too, because then they're like, where'd he go? And Marv is like, or no, they're like, we need to look for a sign. He's like, here's the sign. He kills them like immediately.
Yeah, he has like a hatchet.
That's the cool thing about Sin City, is that you feel like the guy with the huge eye tattoo is going to have a pretty good backstory, or he's going to be important. He's immediately murdered. Like, it does not matter. Like, that's just how everyone in this town looks.
Ready to
So then he's like, that. Oh, that's when he finds out it's the Cardinal that arranged for Goldie, because like she had found out or whatever. So then he goes back to Old Town, and Old Town is in the middle of Sin City. It's funny how much we know about Sin City, and it's like it's geography. And so Old Town is in the middle of Sin City, and Old Town is, of course, the Old Town, but is now run by the working girls, and the cops won't even go there. They're scared to go there.
They've become their own enforcement, essentially. It's fully owned and operated by them. Yeah.
But as soon as he goes, I'm here to find out information, because these girls will know if anyone knows, especially if Goldie was an also working girl. And then immediately Goldie comes out and he shoots her in the head. And like, she literally just shoots him in the head. He gets hit like right there. And he's like, oh. But then he's alive.
But he grazes him somehow. I don't know.
Né why, like, when we get to the end, I'm going to be like, I don't understand how this did it. But we'll get there. And then he wakes up and he's tied up. And they want to know what's happening. And that's when we find out it's not Goldie. Goldie has a twin sister.
Yeah.
And so it's just Marv doesn't understand anything. And her name is Wendy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wendy. And then, because essentially it's like, oh, I've gone fully crazy. I'm seeing Goldie. And then she's like, no, I'm the twin sister. And then that's when he kind of...
And Rosario Dawson is introduced in this scene, but she's not important until later. But she is the head of Old Town.
Yeah.
And so then Wendy's like, okay, I'll take you back to the farm to stop all these people. And Marv's like, okay, let's go. And so
to show that Marv is so cool, like, because they have him tied up with roughly 100 ropes. And then once they're like, all right, let's go with, he just immediately stands up and throws the ropes off him, like he's been untied himself the whole time. She's like, I tied that, and knots are my specialty.
And then they go,
he really is good at everything.
Wait, that means you let us beat you and you didn't do anything about it. And he's like, yeah, because if I had gotten out with you doing that, I would have probably had to hit you, and I don't hit women. It's like, of course, like every you can tell the good guys from the bad guys, because all the good guys have a code, even if they're evil. They still have the code. And so they go to the barn, and this time Marv, and then there's like also a funny like Wes Anderson part where he's like, I got an X.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes,
it does inserts of everything.
At the very end, he goes, and my mitts. And it shows his hands.
It is his 45, which is called Gladys. So it's just like, oh, what a noir like character.
Yeah, such an old woman name.
But it is clever because he essentially goes, he puts a bunch of razor wire.
Yeah.
And then he burns down his house with like Molotovs. So he has to like come out, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and then he has handcuffs. And so when they start fighting, he's waiting for an opening so he can handcuff them together. So then he goes, let's see you bounce around now.
Yeah.
This podcast is mostly quotes. I'm sorry, guys. It's a 2.5-hour movie. It's going to take a little while. And so he eventually beats Kevin and he like wants him to feel pain, but Kevin is too psychotic and he doesn't. Well,
because he literally he talks about, he's like, oh, why won't he scream? Because he's literally cut off all of his limbs.
Screaming is like a motif throughout all of these
is now
movies.
Feeding him to his own dog. He did have to backhand Wendy into unconsciousness so she wouldn't see it, but
and also so she wouldn't get in the way and possibly get them both killed.
Yeah.
And so then he goes to the Bishop Rourke. I don't know if we'll spoil it, but I guess we have to because we have to spoil it. And so he kills him.
It's Rutger Hauer.
It's Rutger Hauer. It's a pretty cool scene. But like they just kind of talk about each other and they're like,
I just kind of like that he's like, he screamed real good, like he did. Yeah. He was just very
but then they don't kill Marv, and so he's put on death row. And
they shoot him roughly 40 times, but he lives.
He's fine.
And then he dies on the electric chair. But that's my thing. Like Marv has literally been shot in the head multiple times, and just kind of like not even like just continued with his day. But the electricity kills him.
Well, they do have to do it twice, remember? Because
they
do it once, and he's like,
part.
"Do it again." Which this to me is funny because it obviously doesn't come up in this movie, but this is kind of like a perfect, like this is the best sequence, and it's very like beginning, middle, end, whatever. It's like done.
Yeah.
But because Marv was so popular, they just had to keep bringing him back in like earlier stories, like forever for the rest of Sin City. He keeps popping up.
And it's very funny, too, because that actually happens with the movie as well. We won't talk about the sequel too much, but the sequel literally puts Marv, like one of the stories already had Marv included because of that. And it manages to fit Marv into the other two. Well, one of them is just a story about Marv. They're like, we got to get it. And the other one is a new story and they fit Marv into it. So he's literally in every single story.
He's just in
everywhere. This one, we do see him, but he's just a kind of, he's a background character for the rest of the film. Where we get into our next one, which is The Big Fat Kill, which Clive Owen plays Dwight McCarthy, who's one of Frank Miller's favorite characters. He's the only Sin City character other than Dwight that comes back.
He really has a through
in the
line,
Dumber story. Yeah.
Can I also say, too, that I do like that, because I feel like the temptation would have been there to do like interstitial title cards, because every indie movie does that, like Chapter 4. I'm a horror movie made for... This movie doesn't do that. Because it relies on you paying attention and knows you're watching a movie. Right. It's like you don't need title cards. Just
I hate movies like Borderland that have title cards. And so Dwight is visiting his bartender girlfriend. Everyone works at the same strip club.
Brittany Murphy.
Also,
Candies or
it's called like Shelley's.
It is. What's fun is it does the
Katie's.
It does the Pulp Fiction thing where it's like you saw Brittany Murphy and Dwight for like a minute each in the last one, and now it's about them.
Now it's her story. And
they're
in the next
her apartment. Yeah.
Anytime like anyone needs to talk to a waitress, the waitress is always Brittany Murphy in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's being harassed by her ex-boyfriend,
Del
who is
Toro.
played by Benicio Del Toro. He's playing Jackie Boy.
Doing the craziest accent.
He talks like this.
Hello.
He talks like he talks like he's in an Adam Sandler movie, but he's not.
Which is weird because without getting into too many spoilers, eventually it would make sense that he talks like that, but he just talks like that from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like
if you wanted...
They told him what will happen to him, and he's like, I'm just going to talk like this forever.
Yeah.
You got him, Franken Rob.
Anyway. And so he wants her to go party with him and his boys, and also call 4 of her girls or something, so they can all party together.
Yeah, he wants
and also they're broken up, and he's also abusive, so she doesn't want anything to do with him.
He's a bad man.
But he like breaks in with his friends, and they're like start harassing, and they're like he's looking through, and he's like, she's wearing just her underwear and a shirt, and he's like, that's a man's shirt. It's not my shirt. I'm not gonna do his voice because it's too much. I will do the Dwight voice
to kind of show you too, like, you know, again, everyone in Sin City like is exactly who they say they are. He's like, I would never hit a woman. Seconds before he backhands her across the floor, you know, it's like, oh, he's an evil liar. Okay.
And then just to show you, because then his boys are immediately like, hey, since you're on the floor already, and she pulls a knife on him. It's like, so if you're a scumbag, you're only around other scumbags. You're never around anyone normal.
Yeah.
And so Jackie Boy goes to the bathroom, and that's when Dwight comes out because he's hiding in the shower, and he puts him through the toilet, and he's like trying to scare him, like, "Don't ever come around my girlfend again.
I do like because he says, "You made 2 mistakes tonight, coming in here and not flushing." And then he shows his head.
They show the turds in the toilet before.
Literally, like, into the water. What I do like is Jackie Boy holds his cigarette in his mouth even as he's being like waterboarded in a toilet.
Del Toro again. I think Del Toro is also really, really good at making this dialogue work.
Oh, it's very fun, very fun.
Yeah.
And so then he like kicks him out, and he's like, "Okay, they're gone." And that's when Shelly's like, "You shouldn't have done that. That was bad." And he's like, "You know what? These guys are going to go hurt someone. So I'm going to put a hurt on them." And he always has 2 guns. And he's like, "Let me go catch them." And she's like, "No, stop." And he's like, "She said something. I thought it said stop." And it's like, you're going to hear that like 4 more times because there's no subtlety.
Again, they really telegraph. I love this part because the only color in this scene is his red Converse shoes as he jumps down from like her window to the alley. And I used to wear like nothing but Converse. Really hurts your feet, by the way. I don't recommend.
Converse are bad for your feet.
They are not good for arch support. But then he gets into his, he starts following them essentially as they carouse around the city.
They go into Old Town, as you know, is the dirty part of town.
Is run by and that's when they happen upon innocent girl from the Gilmore Girls. What's
Alexis Bledel, who, like, I don't know, she's very good in this role, but she does not look like a lady of the night. She looks.
They
like
definitely make her
Gilmore
like
girl.
they kind of play up the like innocent fawn like because the only thing colored on her is like her big blue eyes, and she's very like, oh, I just got off work. You want one of the other girls? Go to this place, and there's like, nah, we want you.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't listen to ladies of the night.
Yeah,
I'll beat you up. And so, but then Dwight's about to go attack, and that's when Rosario Dawson stops him, and she's like, "Hey, you don't have to do anything. We're already we clocked these guys as soon as they entered Old Town. We'll take care of them." And like they even show like a cop, and it almost gets into Old Town, and it like turns off its siren and leaves, so you know that the cops are not allowed in Old Town.
Yeah, it's like Chaz, but for Sin City.
Yeah. And so Benicio del Toro pulls a gun on Alexis Bledel, and that's when we see Devontae, or what is he?
Devontae Oki as
Miko.
Miko.
And what does he call her? Miho. What does he call her? Deadly little Miho.
Deadly little Miho, which is funny, Miho in Spanish, but obviously she's.
I know, yeah.
She's like a Japanese it's also ninja.
Like he knew that was correct. I mean, Robert Rodriguez knows enough Spanish to know what Miho means. Miho means boy. And so she throws a throwing star that is in the shape, and I don't really. This is another thing that Frank Miller would do. He would just add the ninja star is in the shape of a German political party from the 40s that we did not say if I cut it out correctly.
Yeah.
And that's something that Frank Miller would just add. He
would have like someone in
good.
It's also like a symbol from like ancient Japan.
It could be.
I know, but like he would even do it in like the dark.
That.
Like the Dark Knight Returns, the Joker as a henchman who's just dressed like that, and you're just like, and it's not remarked upon. It's never like there's not more to it. There's even a guy later in the movie who's just nothing but 1940s German iconography, and you're just like, oh, I guess Frank Miller thinks this is tough.
See, okay. I would almost excuse it as being the Buddhist symbol that's similar to that one.
Up,
if he didn't put it like, there's just characters sometimes in this movie who have a hat that has that symbol or the skull. And it's like, you put in a little bit too much for it to this one to be the Buddhist.
And I think, to be fair, I guess it was, I don't know when Sin City was first, like the comics were written, or like 90s. Frank Miller's like working like the 80s and stuff. But it's like, it did just kind of used to be like bad guy, like jerk.
Yeah, it used to, and it used to be almost like, I wouldn't say popular, but the iconography was used a lot more. and people, because back then people were like, this will never come to power again.
Yeah, it's almost like a spoof,
almost,
like a goof on like bad
like,
things.
Look at how edgy I am, you know.
Right,
but now
it's like,
the people, now
it's the dominant political party. In the
but anyway, so be prepared. Be prepared for that. And so they kill all the people. Mijo like cuts off everyone's head and hands and stuff, and then Benicio del Toro's like walking around without his hand. And he's like, "Guys, this isn't funny. Don't laugh at me." And it's like, I don't know, he's acting like a baby. It's very funny.
And he has like the star stuck in his butt. It's very farcical.
Very slappy. He slips on his hand and gets the star stuck in his butt. And then eventually they put something in the gun. He goes to kill Clive Owen and shoots back at his head. And then it hits him in the head, and then they cut his neck, so he's dead.
She turns him into a Pez dispenser, as Clive Owen puts it. Yeah.
And that's when we find out that Shelley wasn't saying stop. She was saying he's a cop.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And if you kill
he's like a hero cop. He's like the newspaper headlines cop.
And
who,
so
saves the
this
day.
is where the real story begins. So now the thing is, if the cops find out, there's a shaky truce in Sin City between the cops, the mob, and the girls, which is the cops stay out of Old Town, but they get to get as many girls as they want, and they free supplies for their parties.
Yeah.
And the mob stays out because the cops stay out. So the mob is scared of the cops. But if they kill a cop in Old Town, the truce is shaken. And so the mob finds out this almost immediately because there's a spy in Old Town, which we'll talk about later. And they're trying to get the body so they can show the cops, so they can break the truce, so they can take over Old Town again and go back. Because I think it's a thing where if the cops can go through, then the mob can use the cops to intimidate the girls into taking control. And then it's like a free-for-all for the girls, where right now they govern themselves.
It's just straight up a full-on gang war, essentially, will erupt. And I feel like you might suspect you know who the traitor is, because 1 minute after Rosario Dawson's like, no calls, everyone just goes straight home. One of the characters is like, I just got to call my mom real quick.
It's pretty obvious. It's Alexis Bledel. She's like, I just want to hear my mom's voice, and then she looks.
And she's walking away.
Hello, evil plan.
Everything in this movie, very literal, very blunt.
Yeah. This is also where Michael Clark Duncan is introduced. He's the head. He's the enforcer of the mob, and he has a gold eye.
Yeah.
This is one of those that we talked about the Johnny Depp Sin City one that never got made earlier. This is the one thing that really bothered me, because Michael Clark Duncan's character, who you only see in this one, he comes up a lot, and it's always one of those he's so kind of menacing that there's never you're gonna kill this guy. It's like you might beat him to a draw, and then the Johnny Depp guy just effortlessly beats him, and you're like,
it's also weird because he's one of the characters where he dies in both this one and the Johnny Depp one.
He always he gets wounded but comes back. He never dies. He's always like, you thought I was dead, I came back, because he doesn't have a gold eye the first time, but you see he has a gold eye in this, and then you find out later what happened.
So he's like, we're gonna find this body. So Dwight is trying to take the body to the tar pits, and the girls, I'm not gonna lie, they're really not helping him at all. They give him a terrible car.
They give him a crappy beater, and they literally have to chop up all the bodies just to fit them in the trunk.
Yeah, and then Benicio del Toro doesn't even fit, so they have to put him in the front seat.
He just said, "This is one of the best scenes, directed by Quentin Tarantino."
Yes, this is a Quentin Tarantino sequence. So during this part is where Dwight's kind of driving to the tar pits. And that's when Benicio del Toro, he starts hallucinating that Benicio del Toro is talking to him and kind of explaining the situation. And this is where we get, it's just them going back and forth. There's not really anything learned. It's just kind of you learn more about Dwight's character.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
His mental state a little bit.
Yeah. And it's very because it's they get jostled by the rain, and then he falls on him, and he's like, look, it's like we're in a buddy movie.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. And it's just,
and every time his head goes back, he
his
talks
voice
weirder
goes higher.
because his voice.
Yeah, his voice will change based on his throat being slit.
Where he's like, those hookers let you down. And then he's like, what are you going to do whenever your car breaks? Call AAA.
Yeah.
And every time I call AAA now, which I've had to do maybe 15 times in my life, That's what I always think of.
Damn.
AAA. Anyways.
I do love because then a motorcycle cop stops him, and he's like, "Oh, am I gonna have to kill this guy? Or is he like actually just a normal cop who's not a part of this?" And he's like, "Sir, your tail lights out." That's essentially how the scene ends. Is like just with a one honest cop.
I'll let you go. Yeah,
sir,
I'll let you go with a warning.
Because he's like, your buddy been drinking tonight because he's slumped against the thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's a great scene, and
it's also like. Yeah. It is funny because it's the only scene that it doesn't make sense that they have bright white blood. Because if they really had bright white blood, that kind of would be like, okay, that guy's dead. His blood is like all over. But if you think about it, it would be dark red blood in the middle of the night, so you really wouldn't be able to see anything.
True.
Right?
Because Jackie Boy's wearing all black, so it would just be covered. And so he eventually gets to the tar pits. They call them the pits. No one's gonna reach out.
There's
to
a bunch of much like LA. There's a bunch of dinosaur stuff near the tar pits.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then he's about to put it in, but he's immediately ambushed by the IRA.
The IRA. This is like the mob has hired the IRA to recover the body, but they're mostly doing it with explosives because it's the IRA.
Yeah,
so convoluted for no reason. It's fun, but it's like, all right,
let's kind of to do it. It doesn't really make any sense.
Because they even kind of comment on like, oh, we're Irish, but we love America. So they're like walking up to like deal with them. It's and there's even nothing.
There's even a part where like he gets ahead. I think there's only one left. He gets ahead, and he jumps into a store and he goes, "Follow me now!" And it's like, why are you taunting the guy you're trying to get away from? And so eventually Dwight gets the head back. And so he tells them like, "Oh, I will." Oh, but then they kidnap Rosario Dawson, and this is the second part where, because like Michael Clark Duncan, he's like, "I'm an expert in torture," and he's like torturing her by touching her. Like his thing is like, it just looks like he's giving her a massage, but it's supposed to be excruciatingly painful. And he's like, "I'm gonna hear you scream whether you want to or not." And it's like that comes up in every single story. Someone wanting someone else to scream.
I know. I didn't realize that's what was happening, and I've seen it like 100 times. I've always like, why is he rubbing her face? Like he's getting.
Yeah, he's supposed to be tortured. He's like, it feels like the tiniest pressure from me, but for you, endless pain. And so then Dwight calls him. He's like, "Bring the girl, and I'll give you the head." And he's like, "This is definitely not a trap. So let's go."
This is cool. Yeah.
And so he takes all these guys, and then I'm gonna describe this scene and then describe how Frank Miller copycatted himself, and then we'll talk about it. So he puts them all in a corridor, and he's standing at the end of this tunnel or like this alley, and they're all working their way in there, and he's kind of talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes even if you don't have enough men, you just have to figure out a way for them not to be able to surround you." And so essentially what Frank Miller has done was what Dwight does is what they do in 300. He just ripped off himself. And I think in the comic, he even mentions that he's doing a 300. And it's like Frank Miller.
They might directly reference it.
You guys see my thing?
It's fine.
Like, the next one is just going to be like, "And remember Marv, he kind of looks like the Dark Knight, right?" It's like, that's not even, it's nothing. So then, they have the head and they're like, actually it's a trap, and all the girls pop out of it, and they're like,
"Oh yeah," and Roy Gilmore's there, and she's like, "Wait, why is the mouth taped? It wasn't taped before." And he takes off the tape, and there's a grenade that's been shoved into the mouth.
It's also kind of funny because it's like you're about to shoot them all. Like if anything, the grenade's just gonna spread them out. Like don't do that.
Right? Yeah.
It's fine. You know,
it's a bad plan, Dwight. You dummy.
He goes into it.
I would say that Clive Owen. He kind of does. He does a good job as Dwight, but sometimes he looks a little silly. It's the two guns.
This is definitely
the two guns could do, but his voice and his vibe.
Yeah,
like he does a good job of like being vulnerable, but also like he seems.
It's the weakest link though.
Well, I feel like he talks about himself being like really bloodthirsty all the time. Like there's like one scene where he's like, "I gotta get myself on a big fat kill," or he doesn't say big fat kills for anything else, but he's like, "I gotta do some killing." And it's like, well, maybe. I don't know. I believe Marv does. I don't know if I believe you. But for the most part, I like Clive Owen in this role.
And there is one of my favorite parts is earlier he's at the bar and everyone's watching Jessica Alba, who plays Nancy Dance.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Everyone thinks Marv is insane. I don't think he's insane. I just think he was born in the wrong time. If he was a gladiator, people would love him." And it just shows Marv, he's like eating and drinking and fighting a guy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, Marv, like, it's not so much that Marv is the most popular character. It's that we've all been convinced because every scene with Marv is like, yeah, look at this guy. He's cool as hell. And
He's so
tough
cool,
as,
yeah.
Yeah.
he's tough as balls and he has a heart of gold.
Right.
It's
They
like,
let off
okay,
with that
man.
one for a reason. Like, that was like,
Yeah.
It's such a funny because
very
that's
good
such a
choice.
like
Yeah.
Clive Owen just pops up in Marv's story to say that.
Yeah.
Like that's it. It's such a
Yeah.
like it's from like a totally different comic. It's just such a good line that they're like, nah,
Yeah.
throw it into this one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This will be cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, but Alexis Bledel leaves because now we have to cover that part thanks to Joshua. And then we get
gotta
to our
do it.
next story, which is the end. This is a Bruce Willis story. So this starts the movie, and then we'll cut back. So at the very
Yeah.
beginning, Bruce Willis plays an old cop who's trying to save a 6-year-old girl.
I think it's literally his last day before
yeah,
retirement.
it's his last day
Because he's
before
like,
retirement.
my wife's waiting with 2 big fat steaks.
And he's trying to save this like 6-year-old girl, Nancy, who we'll find out becomes Jessica Alba. And he's like driving and like what's his name?
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen. Michael
thank
Madsen's
you.
his partner.
Mickey Madsen. That's what I call him because we're
Yeah.
buds. He's his
Yeah.
partner, and he's like, "Hey, you're pushing 16. You got a bum ticket."
You got a
And
bum
it's like,
ticket.
in his second
I love
part,
it.
he does a lot better, but in the first part, it sounds
It's-
so awkward.
It's like an SNL skit about a noir where you're just
Right,
like reading
right.
it out. Like it's so bad, but then like it's weird because that's like probably the third minute of the movie. So you're like, oh no, is the whole movie like this? But no, it's
Yeah.
just him. You know.
It's also weird because, yeah, he's so good in everything. He's even good later on in the movie. He's just
I
kind of
know.
bad right
Yeah,
here.
it's just a bad.
And it's
take,
not
I
even
guess.
bad. It's just kind of like it doesn't feel like he had figured out the flow yet.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Willis is as good as Mickey Rourke at delivering these lines.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
Bruce
no,
Willis
he's
is, like,
really good.
so-
He's-
and he's going up against him.
But
And
I
also
will-
Josh Hartnett's really good at it too.
yeah.
Like,
Josh Hartnett is good.
We've had 2 really good people doing it, and then you
I-
get Michael Madsen. You're like, okay, well,
He's
I will say one of the problems with this story is the writing because like he keeps repeating that Nancy's 6 years old,
I know, dude. Like,
and
a
it's gonna
lot,
get
a
very
lot.
weird in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Nancy, 6 years old. Yeah, no, he does say yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's
so-
essentially, and then this is actually this is good though because he talks. It's like, oh, he's the son. He's the son of a Senator Rourke.
Yeah,
And then of course there's like Bishop Rourke from Marv's story who he
Yeah,
tortures to death. But then there's still Senator Rourke, this powerful like crime family. But the son is like a
Serial
depraved sadist who like
Yeah.
preys on young girls essentially,
Yeah.
and he's captured a girl.
and so as Bruce Willis is leaving, Michael Madsen like shoots him. And he's like, "No, I'm a dirty cop, and I'm
Yeah.
stopping you." He's like, "They paid me a lot of money to stop you."
yeah.
And then he's still like Bruce Willis is a character in Sin City, so he gets up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
he
survive a few
he's
lines.
like he goes. I took away his weapons, both of them, because first he shoots his hand to disarm him,
Yeah.
Well,
which literally
Well,
blows
we
up
haven't-
his hand.
Yeah.
And disintegrates
We have to
into
go.
white liquid.
Okay, we're literally at Michael Madsen. He escapes from Michael Madsen. Now we're talking about this is Nicholas Stoll.
Well, he doesn't shoot him
Not
until
Michael
after that.
Madsen.
He
Yeah.
doesn't shoot him until after that.
Right,
So-
right. Wait, he shoots him after? I thought he shot him before.
No, because first he meets him. He's like, "Let's
You're
wait for
right.
backup."
I was
Yeah.
incorrect.
And then
He's
he
like-
has
Yes.
to like go. He has to. Well, all he does really is just he hits. Oh, Nick Offerman in one of his first roles, he plays like a hitman.
Oh yeah,
or a
they're like
bodyguard.
two bumbling. Like one is like a leather daddy and one's a normal guy, but they're like kind of a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. They're like,
Yeah,
"I'd love to drive this automobile, sir. I don't think you should do." It's like they're doing like
Right.
Hobbit. It's like you work for a rapist. What is this?
Yeah.
So all he has to do is just he hits those guys with like a wrench, and then he finds Nick Stahl and young Jessica Alba. It's not Jessica Alba, it's whatever the actress is who plays 6-year-old.
It's a little girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Alexa Vega's
They're-
daughter, Mackenzie Vega.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so then,
He chases him to a pier,
yeah, they go to.
and then the guy's gonna shoot him. He's like, "You can't even get me. You can't even lift that
You can't
cannon."
even lift that
Can't-
cannon.
Oh, because he has a
Yeah.
bum ticker as
Yeah.
Michael Madsen because his heart.
So
like,
his heart starts going
He
out.
he breathes really hard, like he can't really like keep up. So he's like, I took away his weapon, both of them. He shoots his hand off,
Yeah.
and then he shoots his private area completely off as well.
And I love when
Yeah.
he does that because Nick Stahl's reaction, like he's like laying on the ground just like screaming, and then he shoots him in the crotch, and he just goes, "Ow!" He just continues screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, yeah.
what else are
The
you gonna
screaming
do? I
will
guess?
continue,
But
yeah.
It's just like the way he's doing it is like, that's always stuck out to me. Like
Yeah,
in
it's
Fargo,
very-
whenever there's a scene in Fargo where this guy gets shot on the ground, who's already dead, and like his body doesn't move, and it's always been funny to me. This is probably doesn't make a lot of sense to our viewers, listeners, but it always reminded me of that. Like whenever Nick Saul gets shot, like just his lack of reaction to getting shot.
She's like,
in the
ouch!
crotch is one of my most favorite things in the entire film. It's so good.
It's very And so then that's when Michael Metz. I was mistaken. Michael Metz.
He shows up and he shoots him.
And he's like, "I'm a dirty cap, and I can't let you kill him." It's like, might as well, man. Like, what? You're too late, Michael. I don't think you're gonna get paid for this one, buddy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so then he's trying to distract them because he's still alive. He's like, I gotta distract him long enough for Beckham to arrive, so they don't
the regular cop. Because if like a bunch of cops swarm, he can't
kill the girl
Yeah.
because he wants to kill the girl. He's like, come with me, Nancy. And yes, I kind of glossed over this, but young Nancy is played by Mackenzie Vega, who is Alexa Vega's sister. Alexa Vega is who Robert Rodriguez discovered for Spy Kids. She's one of the Spy Kids.
Oh, nice.
And so and Mackenzie Vega.
Yeah, I was like, daughter. That sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
still neat though.
Very young.
That's kind of how it opens because you actually think Bruce Willis died here saving a little girl, and then it comes back to him, and you find out he lived, and they're basically gonna put every crime on him and throw him in jail because the senator's so powerful.
And there's the iconic line that they end the first fake out scene with is an old man dies, a little girl lives, fair trade.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in high school and I heard that line for the first time, I was like, this is the only movie I'm ever watching for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
This really is the if you see it when you're 20, it's the best movie ever made. You're like, yes.
Yeah. And so then he wakes up and he's like, you're in a coma. But the thing is, they want him to confess, but he won't. So they put him in jail, which I guess it didn't matter. And so
wait, what?
They put him in jail, but he didn't confess. So
but
why does it matter? Yeah.
Right.
Oh no,
so he's in jail for 8 years
because she's sending him letters, but then the letters stop, so he does confess at that point.
Well, that's what happened. So she's been sending him letters every week, and then they stop for 2 weeks, and he doesn't think it's because she got bored, and so he needs to go find out if she's okay. And then someone visits him, and he's like a big yellow bastard. The name of the story is Yellow Bastard.
Exactly
He's got a big ass head, big ears, and he's just sitting there. Then he punches Bruce Willis as soon as he sees him. And so Bruce Willis thinks someone's going after Nancy because he leaves a finger in one of the envelopes. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay, someone's going to go after Nancy. I need to get out of here. And he's like, I know what they want me to do to leave. I have to confess. So that's when he writes the confession. He confesses to everything. Yeah. And he leaves. And then Michael Madsen's like, yo, what's up? I'm here. I figured it out. I figured out how to use this dialogue. Let's do it again. Yeah. And he does a much better job.
Take two.
Yeah. And so they drive, and he's like, and then he takes them immediately to Nancy's apartment.
Yeah.
It's like, buddy, he just shot you. If you think about what he just did last time you saw him,
right? Don't
take him to the girl you're trying to protect's apartment.
Yeah.
But she's not there. So then he finds a matchbook to the bar that everyone goes to, and he's like, maybe some of her friends. She would never be caught dead at a place like this, but some of her friends are. And so he goes there, which doesn't make sense.
He's basing all his knowledge off the last time he saw a 6-year-old girl he met for 5 minutes.
Right,
right.
Well, also she's
been writing him letters.
Yeah.
She's actually she's a student, and she's actually super.
Which she is. She just
put together. Yeah.
She's left out some things. So he goes to the bar and he sees Brittany Murphy, and she's like, "What you want, sugar?" And he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Nancy." And she's like, "So's everyone else. All eyes on the stage." And it's Jessica Alba, and she's doing the famous cowgirl thing
from the trailer.
Anyone who's ever seen a GIF has probably seen once or twice.
Yeah.
And so then he realizes that they don't know where she is. They realize that he knew where she was, so they've let him out to try to track her down.
Yes.
And so he's been leading them right to her, and that's when he sees the yellow bastard. He's sitting in the thing. But then Bruce Willis' plan is pretty smart, because Bruce Willis is like, okay, I'm just at a bar looking for her, but they don't know that I found her. So I'm going to take off. As long as it doesn't look like I see her, it's fine. And so he's about to leave. Right before he leaves, she sees him and she jumps. And this is where we see the Marv part, because then she jumps past Marv, and Marv looks at him and he's like, huh, he's a lucky guy.
Yeah. He doesn't say that, but everything about that shot.
Yeah, he kind of does the nod. Yeah.
We didn't cover this, but Nancy and Marv are best friends for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh no,
because she's a very helpful young woman.
He does mention, he's like, I stopped a frat boy from getting a little too fresh once, and we've been best friends ever since. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So then once she sees him, she's like, let's get out. He's like, we need to get out of here because you're in danger. Then she's like, whatever you say, Hardigan. It's like, no, we need to leave.
Right. Like, I'd forgotten a lot about this like plot until I was like rewatching it, and I was like, oh, whoa, wait, what happens in this scene? Like, whoa, okay.
I do know it's because it does make sense. I mean, like Frank Miller problematic nature aside, it's like, of course she would be in love with the man who saved her life, who's literally like an idolized hero, you know.
And they do a good job because he like is very clear, like, no,
he's like, no, you're like my daughter.
I like you like a daughter. I don't like you like that. But she's in love with him.
Though. I'd forgotten like how far it went, and I was like, oh man, is this about to get crazy?
Like, I know, especially because like I feel like if he hadn't called her 6 years old so many times at the beginning,
I know.
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't have felt as weird from his end.
Yeah,
but because he does, it does feel weird. But anyway, so nothing happens. Just to be clear,
it's all good.
He thinks she's his daughter. Like he sees him as a daughter.
Yeah.
And so then the yellow bastard comes out and he's like, "Don't you remember my voice?"
And so he's like the Roger Rabbit. When I killed your partner, Eddie, I talk just like this. Yeah.
And he's like been able to regrow his hand and his downstairs area, but through terrible experience that have turned him yellow and disgusting.
And he reeks. He smells horrible.
And so, but then he captures them and he has Bruce Willis hanging by his neck and he's stealing Nancy. And he's like, if it wasn't so loud here, I would take you with me to have some fun. It's like, well, your guys are outside. You can just take them. Like, God, we're bad at planning.
Right.
And so he escapes with her. And then Bruce Willis is like, I guess that's it. I'm going to die. And he's like, never mind.
Yeah.
I do like that part.
It's such a weird fake out. It's like, of course he doesn't.
Right.
You know?
And like the shot of him like hanging in the hotel room is like this, like, it's this wide shot you could never get in real life, which is how most of the shots are in this movie. Sure. But like the way he like looks like he's like at a weird angle, like just like hanging in this like stark room. Like it's a great shot. Like it's amazing, so creepy. Yeah.
And I think one of the things, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Bruce Willis he has like Alzheimer's. He has a pretty bad brain disease. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the reasons so many people were shocked when we heard about this, because this is Sin City. I mean, it's 2020 or 2005, and so this is still 20 years ago. But even like up until his last movie, Bruce Willis was like in super great shape, even as he got older. Like, even this movie, like in Hostage, he was like at Tom Cruise level of peak like physical fitness. So I think that's why a lot of people were like, really? That's crazy this happened to him. So really, like, I hope he gets better, or at least is at peace.
Is at peace,
But so he escapes and then he goes to the farm, which, as we know, it's where all the creepy stuff happens at the Rourke family. Mm-hmm. And that's when we see Kevin, and he's just like reading a book. This is earlier.
I know.
He doesn't even care that Bruce Willis is there. Like Bruce Willis like kills a couple of cops and like runs off to go find Nancy, and Elijah's just like, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to say we said that he was the senator's son, but we forgot to say the part where the senator visits Bruce Willis in the hospital, and he's like, if you don't confess, I'm gonna kill everyone, or I'm gonna kill Nancy, blah blah. But when he's talking, like at first he has normal eyes, and then he starts telling him, "You better confess, boy," and then he has snake eyes for no real reason.
Right.
So it's such a like he's just so like the quintessential, like, I could kill you right now, and everyone in the hospital would swear I didn't.
I would laugh at me,
powerful and evil. Yeah.
So then Bruce Willis he fights Michael Madsen again. He's getting away. He has a heart attack again. It's almost like a remake of the first scene. Because then he goes and then he can't shoot. And he's like, you can't even lift that cannon, old man. And he's like, sure I can. And he doesn't lift it the first time. But then guess what, audience?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
he does.
Nice.
He does lift it. And he shoots him. And then he takes away both his weapons again. And then he just beats him to death, like, with his fists. And there's like a puddle. Which again, like, because the blood is yellow for the yellow bastard.
Yeah.
And it's like, if this was a real, like if it looked realistic, it would be so horrific that it wouldn't even be fun.
Right.
But because it's yellow blood and it's very cartoony, like you're not as horrified as like if this was Terrifier, you know?
Right, like you're disgusted and you know it's violent and you know it's
Yeah.
awful, but like, yeah, it does that. Like you're saying, it's such a great like, it's skating that line so finely that in ways that like a lot of people can't do. Where
Yeah.
it's like it's a fun and great time, but it's also like gut wrenching simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie is like that. The whole movie skates that line, which is I think
Right.
what makes it so charming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it walks the line, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Cash walks the line. So then they're safe, and he's like, he tells Nancy, he's like, yeah, I'm going to blow this all wide open. You go back to your house, and I'll be right back. And then he's like, poor Nancy. She still thinks things like truth matter.
Yeah.
And then he does what you assume he's going to do. If he can't tell the truth, he can't be with Nancy.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's almost like this is how a normal person would deal with this versus Marv, who's like invincible, you know?
And it's also an interesting end note. Like, it's funny that they ended the movie with this one.
Yeah.
I guess either way, like, unless you end it with the big fat kill, which you don't want to end it with that one.
No,
It's way more meaningful, I guess.
The Marv
Yeah,
one's so
and
good that you can't wait. It's almost like difficult. Like, yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't see the Marv one first, you're not as Marv is so cool that it kind of just like it makes you endeared to the world.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't put that first, it doesn't work, which is why I think the sequel is hard. So then Josh is going to tell us about the very end because he's dying to tell us.
This is a very funny scene because Rory Gilmore has gotten away. She somehow survived the alleyway because she'd hidden in like a storm drain. And then she's at the hospital and she's just like, oh, Mom, don't worry. My arm hurts, but I'll be fine. And she gets into a hospital. And it's Josh Hartnett dressed like a doctor, which is very funny because Trap also features him dressing in Hitman style disguises to kill people.
Right.
And he's literally like, the doctor's in. And he just like shoots her.
Yeah.
No, he goes, Shelly, you want a cigarette?
Yeah.
And she looks like,
yeah. And,
like
and then she
gets,
goes,
like, a little afraid.
She goes, I'll talk to you later, ma'am. And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, she didn't hire her killer. Like, that was definitely Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
From Old
That's
Town.
just his, that's just
so
his
who
job.
hired him in the morning or in the first?
I think that for whatever reason that lady wanted to commit suicide and couldn't do it on her own because she gets like it's like she knows him whenever he first comes up and she's like kind of excited sort of.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't really know, but that's like my interpretation. Like
that's what I think
for
too.
some
But
reason wanted to die. And
there's really no
hired him.
context for why everyone thinks that, other than like just the vibe you get.
Right, because she recognized him and she wasn't afraid, whereas Alexis Bledel was like,
well, and he says, "Oh, I'll cash her check in the morning." So like, why is she paying him?
Well, no, it could be like
because I think that's a weird thing because he goes, I'm gonna save her what she's running from. So I think the implication is that whatever she was running from, she can't escape it.
Right, exactly.
And so she's decided to take this way out. Yeah.
It could be that. It could also be like she thought he was like her bodyguard, but he was actually the guy sent to kill her. I don't know.
He's like,
it's so vague. It really doesn't matter.
She's like, you should shoot me because I don't really want to be massaged to death by Michael Clark Duncan.
Right, like there are so many fates worse than death.
I don't want to get into the horrific film or the Elijah Wood death. I definitely don't want that. You know?
But yeah, since it's such a relic of its time, but it's also like it's one of those movies where it's not even like you couldn't make it today, but it's like this only works once and it's only gonna work.
There's just such other worse versions, like not even just the sequel, which doesn't really work, but also like remember like that Gangster Squad movie. There's like a lot of movies that kind of tried to be Sin City later, and just none of it hit.
And it's kind of like it's funny too because it does feel another Frank Miller movie feels like 300, where like 300 really works in that world because everything's so cartoony that you're able to like kind of excuse a lot of the other things as like this is just like a fantasy retelling of it.
Right.
And I think the same thing is true here. And I do think like, but it's also interesting like the way that the real evil people are always like the rich guy, the politician, the religious like head of state.
Yeah.
And it's funny that it's still kind of drawing on these things. But I think overall, I mean, it's a super fun movie. It has an amazing cast. It's one of the best casts of all time. And it's also just fun to see like it's kind of interesting because as filmmakers, and not to say that Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez were ever not this, but as filmmakers have become more of the movie stars of today, like more people are talking about the fact that Nolan's directing the Odyssey
right.
than Matt Damon's in the Odyssey. And like as that's kind of grown, I don't know if a director would be willing to take a risk like this as Robert Rodriguez is. Like I can't see Ari Aster like making Sin City and like leaning that far into stuff because you have to have just so much confidence to do this, you know?
Yeah,
like, even especially if you saw the behind the scenes, but because to get the contrast, they're not wearing black and white, they're wearing like real bright orange and blue shirts and like the trench coat's green.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like if you're on that set, you're like you look ridiculous. Yeah,
it's insane.
There's also like to me, there's also like now comic movies like have to tie in to like 3 other movies and a TV show, so you couldn't even just be like, oh, here's Sin City. You'd be like, well, no, how's this going to connect to the other Marvel films? It's like, oh no, it doesn't. This is just its own thing, you know. So
yeah,
it's very much like that doesn't even like happen anymore. So I don't know. It is very of its time.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Check it out, especially if you're 20 and.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like that's another big part of it too. Is like when I saw this, it was 2005, so I was 2 years away from graduating high school, so I must have been a sophomore. And like this was like such like I knew about noir stuff, but I hadn't like really seen a lot of like the major older films, and so like watching this was like we did Mission to Mars a long time ago as kind of like a sci-fi intro to like eventually watching 2001: A Space Odyssey kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like this was like so like I know that I like gritty crime. I know that I like Goodfellas and stuff, and I also like stylized things. And this movie was like, well, here's just that to the extreme max.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoy it. And it's like at that
distilled.
age, I loved it, and like I still love it today. But it's like I wonder how much is nostalgia, how much is actually
that is tricky because
people like about it.
Like I loved it, but I was like, will this just not work for me? Like now, like you know, literally 20 years later, and it did.
If you've barely seen it, let us know what your thoughts were.
Yeah, if you're new to the Sin City world.
Yeah. But I go back to just like, I don't know. I think it's so hard now to find like just the fact that Quentin Tarantino just came in and directed a segment for no real reason, just to try it out.
For fun, yeah.
So it kind of reminds me like that was the kind of cool thing with Kevin Smith and Tarantino. They would do this where they would play with each other.
Yeah.
But in the same way that like Brian De Palma directed a little bit of The Godfather. George Lucas directed some of the sequences. Yeah. Coppola helped get Star Wars funding when it needed it. Like the way that they were all just kind of helping each other for no real reason. You don't really hear that as much anymore. And it could still be happening. But it's cool when we, like as the audience, find out like, oh yeah, like I think Robert Rodriguez recorded some tracks for Kill Bill and he charged Tarantino $1. You know, like that kind of like, oh hell yeah, we still got that mentality. And I think in a lot of our older directors, we don't have that. I mean, Scorsese you still do, but like Ari Aster, like all the other ones that are now, they feel like they're very by the book, you know, where it's like these guys were like, we still got that spirit alive, you know.
I think like the studio just has so much more power now, especially over big budget movies, where it's like they would tamp down on that immediately. You know?
Yeah. Like, no. Like Josh was saying, he wants whoever was running Dimension Studios in 2005 to continue to run every studio and also get out of prison.
I disavow all the Weinsteins.
I know, Josh, you're not
both brothers.
Oh my
Again
God.
on your rants and your personal crusade, Josh.
I don't agree with their lives.
But yeah, I would say check out Sin City. It's super cool. It's super sad. Even if
the visuals are just 10 out of 10.
It's true.
Even if you don't like it, it's almost it's kind of like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, which maybe we'll watch soon. Where it's like it's so unique that you're kind of like, I just want to see it just to see what they did, like how they played every scene. And so go check it out. Go check out how they do wolves and like birds and shit. But yeah, go check it out. Next week we're going to do one more regular movie, and then we're jumping back into and then we jump into the summer. We're gonna have a lot of summer releases, fun times. So come with us next week when we do one last movie before we jump into Corporate Sludge.
We love sludge and corporations, so it's perfect.
Perfect.